Hi guys, today marks the first time India has won the World Cup in 1983. Today was the final, 37 years ago. 1983 was such an important moment for the Indian cricket, if you see. Um, it started the ball rolling for India as a country, as a cricketing nation. And whatever that happened in 1983 is the reason for whatever we see today. The power of BCCI, the popularity of the game in India, uh, everything, whatever you say about cricket right now today, 1983 marked it. And such a tremendous final because we won the game against probably the greatest team that has ever played cricket and at their peak. The West Indies were supposed to just walk over this game and win their third consecutive World Cup. They had probably the most destructive batsman in the world, it seems, which was Vivian Richards, and a bowling attack to kill for. I mean, everything was on their side. India was not supposed to really win this World Cup or forget even compete. They were just tourists. If you see the accounts of all the players that went, except maybe Kapil Dev, most of them were there as tourists and they really enjoyed just coming to England and playing the World Cup. And I don't think anyone had a big intention to win the World Cup except one man, which was Kapil Dev. Kapil Dev was, I would say, probably the most important cricketer the game has seen. We have Gavaskar, we have Tendulkar, and there are so many champions. But Kapil Dev was everything. He was the man who defined cricket for India, and the way he came into the Indian scene also as a fast bowler. Probably India was not really known as a fast bowling nation. You can see so many interviews where Gavaskar talks about how Kapil Dev made them so happy in the slips because for the first time there was an Indian bowler who was beating foreign players with bounce, with pace, and with swing. And for the first time, the opposition players were ducking. And given what Gavaskar faced with the West Indies, and he would have been so happy, no wonder. So Kapil Dev changed everything. He changed the outlook about fast bowlers in India. He was the first bowling star, you could say. Of course, you had the spin quartet, but nothing like having a fast and swing bowler, right? So, and why is he so important? Because in 1983, he defined the whole World Cup. I mean, if ever there was an MVP performance, that was it. You look at the stats, it's a bit crazy. He has like average 60 with the bat and average 20 with the ball in this World Cup. More than 300 runs, and he took around 12 wickets at an economy rate of 2.9. And of course, probably he played the greatest ODI innings, I would say, the 175 versus Zimbabwe from 17.5, right? And that was such an attacking innings of 138 balls and 16 boundaries, 6 sixes. So it was counter-attacking at its best. And that was the man who brought in belief to the Indian team. Even though we had stalwarts like Gavaskar, Kapil Dev was the one who was insistent on India competing and then trying to win the World Cup. He was the first one to instill that belief in the team. The first one to believe that we could actually go and win a World Cup. And such a monumental achievement, not just for Indian cricket, for Asian cricket, the first Asian team to win a World Cup. And they beat the best team, right? And they beat probably the best teams in the cup, and that too resoundingly. And coming to the final, 1983 final was such a lopsided, should have been such a lopsided final because we scored around 183, and that was nowhere near as good to compete with someone like West Indies. If you remember the past two finals, both Viv Richards and Clive Lloyd had scored centuries, and they were dominating. And 183 should have been just a cakewalk. And despite that, it still amazes me that this Indian team and that it really didn't have too many stars except like Gavaskar, and even Kapil Dev was a rising star around that time. To believe that they could actually go and win to bowl out West Indies like that, and we didn't have any genuine bases around that time, and it's such a quintessential ODI team around that time. Bits and pieces cricketers, you might call them, but all champions. And some performances I always remember is Chris Srikanth's 38 runs. He was the highest scorer in the World Cup final. Srikanth always seems to deliver when it comes to big tournaments and big cups. And for me, the most defining moment of the World Cup and the World Cup final, and that says everything about the man, was the catch Kapil Dev took off Vivian Richards, that running catch, which changed the entire game. I mean, to just go for that catch, right? To believe that you can actually run and catch that. I mean, that shows everything about the belief of the man, and how he believed that he could win this cup. And we often ignore, and Kapil Dev, when we talk about the greatest players, we always get stuck with Sachin Tendulkar or a bit of Gavaskar. It's such a batting-centric country. But for me, Kapil Dev defines everything great about Indian cricket, and I would call him probably the greatest cricketer India has ever produced, and we don't really respect him enough. And I hope this new film, 83 by Ranveer Singh, brings back those memories, because you will not see such a cricketer again. I mean, imagine an Indian fast bowler becoming the highest wicket taker ever, 438 wickets, and he held the record for such a long time, and in an era for fast bowling. So, such a momentous day. I just wanted to share a few words about it with you guys, and I hope we remember that whatever we do from now, or whatever we have done till now, it all started in 1983. It was all started by Kapil. Thank you.